Ghostbox.com.
This Halloween, visit and investigate one of the most haunted houses in Minnesota, the Boyd House, located in Boyd, Minnesota, just 2 hours southwest of the Twin Cities. Other people who have investigated the house heard audible, disembodied voices, seen shadows and apparitions, and so much more. Book your overnight investigation at BoydHouse217.com. No need for a hotel. You could stay in the house if you dare.
Connections Radio Show is all about tapping into our hardwired hunger to connect. We examine meaningful connections to ourselves, our community, and the world around us. By opening the door to innovative insights by a wide variety of interesting guests, we'll make the connections to something bigger than ourselves. Join me, Lori Fitz, your host of Connections Radio Show, and together we'll make the connections. Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Cloudy tonight with a low of 50, then a chance of rain on Wednesday with a high of 61. The nights are getting colder, but the music is still the hottest at Crooner's Supper Club in Fridley. Crooner's is located just north of I-694 off Highway 65 and Moore Lake Drive. View their upcoming music schedules and food menus at croonersloungemn.com.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host, guest, random reptoid, or chupacabra may not necessarily reflect those of AM 950 Radio, its affiliates, or its sponsors. Now, it's time to step into the unknown. There are things people experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in the corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us. Share your story, share your experience, because this isn't just your story. This is our story. This is Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken.
And this is Ghostbox Radio on AM 950, where every night we talk about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. My name is Greg Bakken. Thank you very much for joining me tonight on this Tuesday evening. It's a very exciting night. I got a couple of folks on here that I'm very fond of, and we're going to be having a great time tonight. I'm going to be talking with French Quarter medium Maria Shaw, as well as the owner of Charvinity and Metamorphosis Connections, Char Savoy, which you may have heard on such programs as this one. So really excited. Tonight we're going to be talking about a number of things. Amongst them, we're going to be talking about Maria Shaw's Halloween convention and Mariposa Dragonfly Psychic Healing Fair at the Marriott Minneapolis Airport. That's this Saturday, October 21st, and Sunday, October 22nd as well. And very excited for that. And we're going to be talking a little bit about that. But also, I'd like to remind folks that if you have any questions for Miss Maria or Miss Shar, you can definitely put them in the chat. We'll be taking questions, whatever's on your mind. We're very excited tonight. Maria and Shar, welcome to Ghostbox Radio.
Thank you so much, Greg. We're both happy to be here.
Yep. Thank you so much for having us.
I'm so happy to hear that. But I got to tell you both a story. When I was driving in tonight, my radio, my volume during a song that was being played started going down by itself when I was driving in. And it was very interesting because at first I wasn't sure if it was my Spotify, because my Spotify is linked to my car. And I thought maybe that's it. But it was actually the display itself on the car that tells you that the volume is going down. It was actually going down during the song. Now, your next question, I'm sure, Shar, would be, which song is it? And it was Rainbow Connection, which I've always a favorite of mine. Shar, do you think that Jim Henson doesn't want me to sing along to Rainbow Connection in Kermit's voice?
I was just going to say, are you doing an interpretation of Kermit? Because that could do it.
Only way. That's the only way you could sing that song. All right. That's the only way you can sing that song. And try to do it in a Kermit voice. That's the whole purpose of it. It's interesting though that song actually has a lot of special meaning for me. After my mom had passed, It took me months to come to terms with it, like about 2 months before it actually really hit me that she is actually gone. And of all places and of all things that kind of triggered that, I was in the UK. I was in Birmingham, about 3 hours outside of London, and I'm laying in bed, just listening to music, and that came on. For some reason, that triggered, like, this is real. This has happened. And so that song has very special meaning for me. It's just very interesting that, that's never happened before. This wasn't at the end of the trip. So, I mean, we went on to the next song and it just was fine. It was really odd for me.
Well, is your Kermit impersonation not that good?
My Kermit impersonation is brilliant, actually. And
Okay.
so don't go there. Don't even do that. That's uncalled for. And I would do it, but now, of course, if the moment you're challenging me, of course, it's going to come across as crap. So I'm not gonna do it. We'll talk about it if we ever get a Paracon back in the Twin Cities, where they had the bar and stuff, and we do karaoke. Maybe, just maybe, then
Okay.
we'll do that. Now, Maria Shaw, I'm very excited to have you on tonight because we, amongst many things, this event that's happening on this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, at the Marriott Minneapolis Airport, it's going to be pretty special. And I'd like you to talk about it a little bit, please. But I do want to just say, to start with, that I have been truly taken aback in a good way with the crossover gallery on Sunday of the last event in August. And I have thought about that quite a bit. It was truly remarkable. It was beautiful. It really spoke to me, and nothing there was directed at me, but
Yeah.
just the reaction, the feeling of the room, and the mediums at the front, Shar being one of them. How talented! What a great Sunday that was.
Well, yeah, I really enjoy working with our group there in Minneapolis. They're wonderful and talented and definitely gifted. And most of all, they're sincere and they're genuine and they're real. I always tell people my biggest pet peeve is when you go to a psychic medium and they say, you want to connect with somebody. Oh, he's at peace. He loves you.
Yeah.
Come on. They've got to give you a name. They've got to give you something. I always look for 3 confirmations before I know I've made the connection. And so you won't get a lot of fluff and he loves you and he's proud of you from our group. So I would say that if you're looking to do something like this for Halloween or at any time, our crossing over galleries are pretty cool and real and moving, and Shar being one of those people that's on that panel. Now, this weekend, we are sandwiched between 2 eclipses. We had an eclipse on Saturday in the sign of Libra, and eclipses are like 3 new moons or 3 full moons on speed. And so we have another eclipse the 28th of the month, the Halloween weekend. We have a big full moon eclipse. So we're sandwiched between this potent energy, and the veil is becoming thinner and thinner. The closer we move into Halloween and Scorpio season, which starts next week. So I think the psychics, the mediums, everybody's going to be a lot more intuitive, and spirit's going to be able to come through quite a bit easier too. So we're going to have Thomas John and myself on Sunday doing a crossing over gallery.
Nice.
We'll be doing that Sunday afternoon, and you can still get tickets for that. But on Saturday at 10 o'clock, I'm doing a free class that's open to everyone who would like to attend on reincarnation and using your astrology charts, or the astrology charts, I should say, of the deceased, to see what they're doing in the afterlife. Most people look at their astrology chart as something that they can use to predict the future, or maybe a past life, or who their soulmate's supposed to be. But it can also predict what the deceased are doing in the afterlife. So we're going to talk about that. I'm actually going to do crossing over readings on Saturday, and then follow it up by looking at the person's chart. So if someone's coming and I pick up on your mom, I need her birthday too, because we're gonna go in a little bit deeper and see who came to receive her, if she's coming back, what her karmic lesson was, and maybe even the connection between you and her.
That is just amazing. And what you're doing with the charts and everything else, it is actually very, And when I say actually, I get bummed when people tell me, oh, that was actually really good, so that sort of thing. When I say actually, I mean, it does still blow my mind how this is truly the roadmap of our existence.
Hmm.
And I never took it as that before. And until I started really working with Shar and talking with you, and those are things that are just you just can't, you have to experience it yourself, I think, to really understand it.
Yeah, astrology, your astrology chart is, you said it right. It's a map of your life. And if you understand, where you're supposed to go in this lifetime, your life purpose, your karmic lessons, who you're supposed to connect with, what you're supposed to do, your soul purpose, life can become a super highway. If you aren't aware and you're not open, life can be a series of twists and turns and backups and crashes, and it just seems like you're going around in circles and getting nowhere. So astrology is a great tool to use, for a lot of different reasons. But most people, like I said, want to know about their love life, their money, their health, their work. But it can tell you so much more. It can tell you about your past lives. It can tell you about your future lives. Um, your astrology chart, you have a sun sign, which is the day you were born, your rising sign, the hour of birth, and your moon sign, which is where the moon was positioned in the sky the minute that you were born, the day you were born. And your moon is often said what you're going to reincarnate as. So right now I'm a Cancer in this lifetime. I'm born in the end of June, but my moon's in Virgo. So I'm going to be coming back as one of them damn long suffering Virgos. I am not looking
Hey,
forward to that. Shar knows what I'm talking about. It
Virgo
is
is a
not an
hard
easy
life.
life.
Mm-mm.
I wrote an article years ago called The Pisces Crises and the Virgo Curse, and people still read it because those are two of the hardest signs to be. Pisces like to please, and Virgos feel like they must do things to please. They're the servants of the zodiac. Not easy being those two signs. So I'm coming back
No.
as one. Go figure.
Wow. Yeah, no. And that's just it. I mean, because it would be nice to have an idea of purpose. And I
Mhm.
understand also past life and future lives, which would be very cool as well. But I'm coming from a place, to be very honest, that would like purpose, would like to know what's
Yes.
going on. And I think there's a lot of people out there who feel the same way. I mean, there's just, there's so much that will help us. We just need that, I think, and you'll probably disagree with me. I was gonna say that little bit more is probably a lot more, but we need it. We need to understand that better.
Yeah, when I do the readings for people, I look at, I start off the reading, if they're not a regular client, if they're a first time client, with what they came over to do, the main soul purpose. What is your life purpose? Why are you here? The main running theme in your life, and then what you'll shine at, what you were given, the God-given talents to be able to do. Then I talk about the karmic lesson, which is something that the soul didn't complete in a former lifetime. So it's coming back in this one to work through or work on it. And sometimes that's the hardest thing that we have to do. And then I also talk about, the karmic lesson, the soul purpose, which is also something that fulfills the soul. And then I give people, who they've had past life connections with. That way they know who are the people that are helping them fulfill the life lesson, the karmic lesson, and the soul purpose on, in this current incarnation. And people most of the time will be like, oh yeah, that's right. And
Yeah.
another thing I've been getting involved in is the karma of the family, generational karma. I've been doing a lot of classes and workshops on family karma and how to heal it, because your chart will show you can go back 3 generations, and if your grandparents or great grandparents sinned in their marriage or in their family, your relationships are going to suffer until the karma is forgiven.
Wow. I mean, I just can't. It's hard to get my head around it in a bit. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? There's so many concepts that that are coming out. But at the same time, when I say that, it all rings true to me as well. I mean, it's
Mhm.
easy, but it's a lot at the same time. Is that contradiction make any kind of sense to you?
No, I get it. I get it, especially if you're new to astrology.
Yeah.
Most people read their horoscopes or they know Mercury's going in retrograde, that type of thing. But when you get a little bit more into detail, it's like wallpaper. I'm telling you, just taking slabs of wallpaper off the wall. There's so many layers to astrology. I'll never know everything there is to know. In my lifetime, I'm probably just scratching the surface.
But yet you know enough to help a lot of other people.
I hope so. That's why we're doing these free classes this weekend in Minneapolis, and we're going to be again at the Marriott Minneapolis Airport Hotel, which is the old Thunderbird, as I heard, and it's right across from the Mall of America. The event opens at 9 and closes at 5 each day. There's a psychic fair going on. It's $10 admission to the fair, and we have a bunch of readers and healers. But during the day, also, the classes are free, except for Thomas John's gallery on Sunday and Joe Lawson's Extreme Seance on in late afternoon on Saturday. But we have a whole bunch of wonderful speakers, local readers and speakers and teachers that are going to teach more than just astrology. I mean, we have a shaman, we have an artist, a psychic artist.
Yeah.
And I guess you guys are teaching a really good class. This is exciting. I was so excited with the topic.
Yeah, no, it's going to be good. And there's and we can get into all of that in the next segment. But yes, so Joe, I'm assuming Joe's not doing anything on manifesting this time because we're not in August anymore. We're not in Lionsgate, right? Is that kind of...
Yeah, he's a paranormal investigator too, and so he's been busy all month.
I bet.
Came off of three different investigations over the weekend. It's exhausting, as you know. So he's going to be doing using some equipment and doing the extreme seance like he's done in these paranormal investigations over the weekend. And he's excited to present that. He's been doing this for a couple of years with this specific equipment. And people in Minnesota have been saying, bring it here. So we're going to do it.
That's great. And Leanne, you're going to be there. That's awesome. It'll be great to see you. Why don't we do this? Because I want to go ahead and I want to talk about the local vendors and stuff, but I need to get a break in here. So when we come back, let's talk about who's going to be showing up, who's going to be vendoring at this. I want to talk about the healing because I had a great experience in August with that. So much more to talk about. You're listening to Ghostbox Radio on AM 950.
Reach your highest level of consciousness and well-being with metamorphosisconnections.com. Metamorphosisconnections.com is an online directory of the best holistic and metaphysical practitioners to help you make your most informed choices. You can search metamorphosisconnections.com for classes, events, wellness and life coaches, plus metaphysical products and shops. You can also search for a wide array of healers from all modalities, including EFT, sound healing, energy healing, light therapy, ancestral healing, shamanic healing, reflexology, past life regressions, hypnotherapy, yoga, and more. And if you're not sure where to start, the search feature on metamorphosisconnections.com is tailored to help both those who know what they are looking for and those who are just starting. Come explore the possibilities for your higher self by visiting metamorphosisconnections.com. Their experienced practitioners can guide both beginners and those that are already on their spiritual journey. That's metamorphosisconnection.com, your link to direct you on your spiritual transformation.
Hello, I'm Jody, also known as Witch Jody on social media. I opened Midwest Witchery and Healing in historic Stillwater because as a nurse, I love to help others. When you come and visit Midwest Witchery and Healing, you will find everything from divination and magical services, classes to ritual tools, jewelries, handcrafted candles, witchy gear, and much more. My store is a safe environment for all on their own unique path. Look for the purple door. Find out more at MidwestWitcheryHealing.com.
This Halloween, visit and investigate one of the most haunted houses in Minnesota, the Boyd House, located in Boyd, Minnesota, just 2 hours southwest of the Twin Cities. Other people who have investigated the house heard audible, disembodied voices, seen shadows and apparitions, and so much more. Book your overnight investigation at BoydHouse217.com. No need for a hotel. You could stay in the house if you dare.
Don't drive too fast or you will miss Scott Jamama's Hot Barbecue. Scott Jamama's offers huge taste out of a little place. Located at 3 West Diamond Lake Road near the intersection of Nicollet Avenue and West Diamond Lake Road in Minneapolis, this tiny hole in the wall offers mouth-watering baby back ribs, grilled chicken, and half-pound pulled pork sandwiches. Don't forget to add the potato salad, spicy baked beans, twice-baked potatoes, and delicious desserts. Find their hours and full menu at scottjamamas.com.
And as we've been talking about, don't forget to join us this weekend, October 21st and 22nd, for Maria Shaw's Halloween Convention and Mariposa Dragonfly Psychic Healing Fair at the Marriott Minneapolis Airport Hotel. Both Shaw and myself will be speaking at this event. We're going to be doing an event together, and we're going to be talking in a moment about what we're speaking about. It's $10 to get in, but some great classes. Some classes you're going to need to pay for, others that are free. Maria just was talking about them. You can get more information also at mariashaw.com. And that is really exciting. I can't wait for this. This was so much fun last time. And we got questions in our chat room that I want to get to, but I also want to go through some other stuff first. So keep folks out there, keep giving us questions. We will get to them. I really appreciate them. But Shar, who are we going to have as vendors at this event on Saturday and Sunday?
Well, we're definitely going to have some of the usual vendors that are usually there and some new ones. So I'm kind of excited about that. Of course, some of the favorites, Reverend Cindy will be there. She does a very straightforward tarot readings. Oh, yeah. I've gotten one from her. She blows my mind. Sandy will be there doing readings. Psychic medium. Michelle Case will be there as a reader. Paul David Stankel will be there. I will be there doing readings as well, along with Paula. And then also we have Deb is back and Tony, and then Rebecca, and then three new ones. We've got Corrine, Morgan, and Amber. They're brand new. They're going to be readings as well. And then on the healing side, on I believe just Sunday only, Mary Newstrom, the shaman, will be there. Yep. Rebecca will be there. Rebecca does a variety of things, but she also does the ear seeds, which are really good for all kinds of different ailments. Those are kind of a really unique things to get. Darcy will be there. And then also Deb Ammon will be there as well. So we have quite a few regular people that usually come, the favorites of everybody. And then we have some brand new people that are joining us too. So I'm super excited to see everybody again.
And if I may add to that these folks are super, super gifted and talented. And when I was there in August, thanks to you, Shar, I was able to get some healing from Nancy, much needed healing. And folks, I cannot understate how important this stuff actually is and how it does make a difference. And I won't go into details. I'm not going to bore anyone with it, but I had been in quite the state from probably February to August, and that healing had made a significant difference to me. It's worth coming out there, seeing who's there, talk to them, seeing how anybody out there can help you. Even if it's not that day, you can grab their cards, you can get a chance to meet Maria. I mean, this is a real fun event, and I'm assuming that there's going to be people dressed up because it's Halloween, right?
I think Christy, the fair organizer, put a little note out to all the readers. Hey, it's Halloween. Let's get dressed up. So you never know whose alter ego is going to show up. I think it'll be fun. And she's got gift bags too.
Oh, nice.
Doesn't she have like a bunch of like a gift bags and there's trick or treats in them?
Yep, I think she has a goodie bag for like the first 25 people on Saturday and the first 25 people on Sunday that pay the $10 admission to get into the psychic fair. You get a free goodie bag. It's just full of stuff that all of us vendors have put something into it. So you never know what you're going to get. It's just like a potluck of everything. So there's lots of good stuff. I think she has some other stuff. I know a lot of the readers are offering a special that day as well. And some are offering, I know I am, a free gift if you book early, you pre-book, which I know Leanne has already pre-booked with me, so that's great. I'm going to put the link in the chat for the digital magazine that has everybody in it that's going to be there. It has the layout of everything, the classes, who's doing what, how to get tickets for the things that need tickets, how to pre-book with most of the readers and healers. So it has all the information in that booklet. So go ahead and check that out, and then you're set.
Yeah, and if you want to spend like the whole weekend there, you can. You can stay. You can rent a room there, or a sleeping room, or if you just want to bounce in for an hour or two, or you want to come back each day, or you're only available on Saturday. There's literally things to do from the moment you walk in till the moment we close the doors. And I would highly recommend that if you are listening and you want to book a reading around the classes, so you don't miss any of the freebies,
right,
go ahead and click one of those links and request a time after you check what the time the classes are. That way you won't miss anything.
I like that.
Right.
The idea of being
Yep.
strategic so that you are taking advantage. And yeah, I mean, that's just it, because getting any free classes from you is a big deal. It truly is. I mean, it's worth people's time. This is a really nice offer for people to check out. And I'm going to dress up as a sad radio host and hoodie, I think is the name of my costume. And not to be confused with what I wear every day. So Shar, you and I, we're talking Saturday.
Mm-hmm. We are 1 o'clock.
Hopefully you say
That'll be
more
good.
than this. Okay. 1 o'clock.
I will. Yes. 1 o'clock. We are talking. We have a whole bunch of stuff we're going to talk about. We're going to talk a little bit about Halloween, how it got started. And of course, I live in Anoka, Halloween capital of the world, and I know Salem exists, but in Minnesota. So we'll talk about why Anoka is the Halloween capital of the world. We'll talk about some local haunts in Minnesota, some of the most famous places, and we've been to most of those places. So we'll talk about our experiences, and we might even play some audio clips for people so you can actually hear what we've gotten at those places.
Absolutely. No, it's going to be a lot of fun. And we did a presentation in August, and that went over very well. Also, that was a lot of fun to do.
Yeah.
So thank you, Maria, for allowing us to do that. That was
we're
really
glad
cool.
to have you. I'm so excited about this one. It ties in with Halloween so well. And I think all of us need a little spooky magic in our life at this time of year. Adults don't go trick or treating. So this is a great way to celebrate, Halloween season. And I always look at Halloween season starting October 1st. So, we may have decorations up before that, but we celebrate all month long. It's kind of sad when October 31st gets here. It's kind of like Christmas. You wait, all December for Christmas, and then it's here, and it's like, oh, same thing with Halloween. I think I enjoy, the days leading up to Halloween, the weeks leading up, sometimes even more.
Absolutely. Now, Brad Webb, he says, do Doctor Who costume for me. No, Brad, thank you for your input on the show. So should we take some questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see. Maybe get people stop talking about what kind of costume I could wear. Let's see here. Let's go back. Actually, Brad had a really interesting question, and I think that this is something worth really talking about here. And Brad asked, we're talking about our paths and our blueprints and everything and our purpose. And Brad asked, what if a person feels like they have no purpose?
Oh, if a person feels like they have no purpose, then I always tell people, and I'll tell you what, let me back up. People go through periods like this in life where they feel disconnected. They don't feel like they have a purpose. Why am I here? They're not suicidal, but they just think, well, if the Lord took me home tomorrow, it'll be okay. I don't know what I'm doing here. A lot of people go through these cycles and feel disconnected. And usually it's because they don't have passion in their life. You have to have something that you're passionate about. And it doesn't have to always be a lover or a great career. You can have a hobby, you can have something that you're working on. And some of the signs, like the Tauruses and the Scorpios and the Virgos, they have to have a purpose every single day they wake up, or they get depressed real easy. So I think we all go through these cycles in our life. Men seem to go through these cycles in their early 50s. Some people between both sexes between 40 and 45. Another age is 36. You all have heard about the 27 club, right? When a lot of the people, like a lot of the actors and musicians, have committed suicide or have checked out.
Like Jim Morrison and
yeah.
Jimi Hendrix and
Mhm.
Janis Joplin. Yeah.
And that's because we have the onset of the Saturn return between age 28 and 30, which is one of the biggest karmic times in our life to find our purpose. And it's very challenging during that period. So I always tell people, when you feel disconnected, I look in their astrology chart and say, okay, because sometimes it goes on for a year or two. When are you going to feel reconnected? When are you going to start to feel more like yourself? And it doesn't happen overnight. It's not like you wake up the next morning and say, oh, I feel like me again. It happens very slowly. And a lot of times this has to do with Pluto or Saturn or one of the generational planets that makes you feel kind of choked and trapped and kind of restricted and kind of blah. And different points in our life and different points in our chart. But the one thing I tell my clients is find something that you're passionate about. Force yourself to be out with people. Force yourself to do things that may be out of your comfort zone, and travel. Change your scenery, because the same old scenery day in and day out, you don't get, you have to have a change of energy. And the other thing is get back in touch with your spirituality. A lot of times when you feel disconnected, it's because you got disconnected with spirit.
Now that makes a lot of sense too. I mean, and it's easy to do, isn't it? When you're feeling all down and out, you're just you isolate yourself, and that includes from your spiritual self, right? I also really like the thought of your passions, and I totally agree with you. When it's not, that doesn't mean relationships. It can absolutely, but I think about stuff like what makes you happy, what kind of, as you said, what hobbies and everything else, and I think that's kind of a state that I had gone through myself, to be honest, of reconnecting with what excites me, that can help me kind of exist within the framework of the stuff that's going on around me, I guess.
Yeah, and being with people of like mind and people that love and support you, and even sometimes old friends, that exchange of energy is so important. So I always tell a lot of clients, well, if you don't know what to do, or you don't have the funds, or to travel, or this or that, hang out with your old friends, call your old friends, get together. I mean, just the exchange of energy can sometimes lift your spirits, at least for a little while, to get you jump started in something else. Find your soul tribe, find your support group, and start hanging around people that have got stuff going on. Because when you're around people that have goals and passion, you're going to feed off of that too, and that's going to ignite something in you.
Absolutely. So Brad, I hope that's not you that's asking the question about yourself. I hope that there's because what I see of you, Brad, is as someone who has some great passions and some great skills, and just a great person. So hopefully that's not the case for you. Anne asked the question, can we ask psychic questions at the end of the show? And unfortunately, that's not the purpose of today's show. Sometimes we do one question readings and whatnot, but if you're in the Twin Cities area, you definitely this weekend check out the Halloween convention in Mariposa, Dragonfly Psychic Healing Fair. And, I mean, I know it sounds like a commercial, but the fact is, this is happening this weekend here in the Twin Cities, and it's going to be a great event. But if you're not in the Twin Cities, go to mariashaw.com and see if there's any of these events coming around near you, or book a reading with either Maria or Shar. Both, I mean, are fantastic. So, I mean, that's probably not the answer they want to hear, but, it's today we're not doing that. So, but thank you for asking that all the same. Let's see here. I was looking at the time. I haven't looked at the clock in a while. I've just been so wrapped up in what you've been saying. It's probably like 11:30, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, poor Patty Vasquez. She's not going to be on tonight. Let's see here. There was a question I thought was really interesting. Trying to get here real fast. When we're talking about the eclipse earlier, Maria, Bruce asked the question, he's curious, how does the eclipse augment the spiritual connections?
Well, eclipses are these wonderful phenomenons that happen. They always happen in pairs, and they happen about every 19 years. So they're repetitive. And you can look back to the eclipse that happened 19 years ago, and it'll kind of give you a clue as to what you were supposed to be working on spiritually, what you were happening in your life. But eclipses they're kind of like wild cards. You can never actually predict what's going to happen during an eclipse, but you can predict the area of life if you look at somebody's chart. And if you've been fence setting about something, the eclipse will push you off the fence to get you on your destined path. You should never judge an eclipse until it's over, because it shakes things up in our lives, and it forces you to question your spirituality. Am I on the right track? Why did this happen to me? Eclipses can bring people in, and they can eclipse people out. The eclipse that happened on Saturday was in the sign of Libra. Suzanne Summers was a Libra.
Wow.
She decided to make her transition. Many years ago, we had an eclipse in the sign of, was it in Virgo? I think it was in Virgo. And it was in the sign of service to others. Princess Diana died, and Mother Teresa died under that eclipse energy.
That's right, they did.
But we also have babies being born. We have weddings happening. We have people meeting their soulmates. We have people getting jobs. But the eclipse usually takes something away from us to bring something new and improve. That's why I say don't judge it until it's over. If something negative happens in your mind, it may end up being a blessing. So I used to work for Tiger Beat magazine. I wrote the horoscopes for Tiger Beat for many years. Mm-hmm. And my editor called me one day and said, we're taking the column in-house. So I lost a big chunk of money. I mean, they paid very well for one column a month. Mm-hmm. But I knew the eclipse was falling in my chart in my area of career. Within about a month, I got a call from my agent in Hollywood, and he said, the National Enquirer wants to know if you write. And he knows I write. So they must have I think they let Princess Diana's astrologer go, because she wrote the column before I did. I think that's the way it was. And they hired me within 2 days without even looking at any of my work, because they needed someone. And on the next eclipse, I think my first column came out, and now I had, tons of more readership, a lot more money. I got to read for a lot of the celebrities in Hollywood, built a new fan base, and I was in every week except once a month. So you can't judge it until it's over, because the end result is usually for your highest good, even if you can't see it at the time.
Wow. All right.
I think that's a great that's a great point too, to piggyback off of what Maria said. Why astrology is so fascinating and important, because it's empowering when you have that information. And she lost her position. She didn't panic because she knew what was happening astrology wise for herself. So it was like, she rode out the storm, so to speak, and she could see what was coming. So to me, that's where astrology is so fascinating and fun, because it's empowering when you know the energies that are happening. You don't have those knee-jerk reactions. You can kind of see what's playing out in front of you, and you have hope, or something's coming, so that's why I love it.
Well, and I want to talk about that, and there's other things that I want to hit on as well. And I have more questions in the chat. So I think what I'm going to do, though, is we need to get another break in here. When we come back, boy, we have lots of questions, and we have lots of things to talk about. I have Maria Shaw and Char Savoy with me tonight. We're having a great time. Join us. We'll be right back. You're listening to Ghostbox Radio, AM 950.
If you own a holistic or metaphysical business and are looking to expand, then you need to be listed on metamorphosisconnections.com. It's a network where you can grow with like-minded practitioners and reach new clients. Metamorphosisconnections.com is an online directory you need to list yourself and your business. Our platform makes it easy for you to create listings of your products and services, and you can also choose to list your classes, events, and so much more. Metamorphosisconnections.com helps you create weekly and monthly promotional ads targeted towards your potential clients and promotes them for you via social media and newsletter. There are clients searching for your specialty right now. Let us help them find you. Start your listing today so you can share your own unique gifts and talents by finding the level of membership that best fits your needs. Let us help you reach your clients that are searching for what you do. Visit metamorphosisconnections.com and sign up today.
Feeling like people just don't get the vibrant rainbow unicorn that is your celestial essence? Have you been wondering how you stepped into this infernal, mundane timeline full of muggles, NPCs, and toilet paper shortages? Here at Magus Books and Herbs, we get you, and are staffed with real-life unicorns just waiting to help you rediscover your shine. So come explore your magical side with books, herbs, incense classes, and more at 1848 Central Avenue Northeast in Minneapolis or online at magusbooks.com.
Hello, I'm Jody, also known as Witch Jody on social media. I opened Midwest Witchery and Healing in historic Stillwater because as a nurse, I love to help others. When you come and visit Midwest Witchery and Healing, you will find everything from divination and magical services, classes to ritual tools, jewelries, handcrafted candles, witchy gear, and much more. My store is a safe environment for all on their own unique path. Look for the purple door. Find out more at MidwestWitcheryHealing.com.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Cloudy tonight with a low of 50, then a chance of rain on Wednesday with a high of 61. Every day this week, AM 950 is giving away 2 pay-per-view passes to Stephanie Miller's Sexy Liberal Comedy Tour show this Saturday night. Listen to the Matt McNeil Show every day from 3 to 5 for your chance to win. Only on the Matt McNeil Show.
AM 950 KTN up, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
And join me tomorrow on Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken. I'm going to have my friend Bill Evenson on. He is the co-host of the podcast Frankenstein Minute. And we're going to be talking about those old Universal Frankenstein films from the 1930s and 1940s. I mean, after all, 'tis the season. It's spooky season, and I love these films, and I want to talk about them. Bill is a great person. I'm looking forward to that conversation. Thursday, we see the return of Rob Guttrow. He is a paranormal investigator, author, medium. We're going to be talking about pets in the afterlife. So if you have questions about whatever happened to your hamster Fluffy, this is the time to ask about that. And then, of course, Friday is Casual Friday. We're going to have Question of the Week. We'll talk more about this event that we have coming up with Maria Shaw on Friday. We're going to talk about that. Don't forget, once again, we're going to be out at the Minneapolis Marriott Airport. Used to be the Thunderbird Hotel. It's actually not the same building. It's actually been torn down, and it's actually probably something that the city would frown upon if that place was still up. But it does have a lot of memories. I actually went to a couple Doctor Who conventions there back in the day. How many times can I fit Doctor Who into the narrative tonight? I do not know. So we're going to. It's the hotel that's replaced the Thunderbird there is beautiful. The Thunderbird was kind of falling apart a little bit. So it's good that this is a new hotel, and it is a very nice hotel. And anyone who's going out there this weekend, definitely stop by and get some coffee. The person who gives out the coffee, she is amazing. She is so friendly and so nice. So, gosh, I'm looking forward to this, you two. I really am.
We are too.
Yes. I hope so.
Yeah, I always look at it like it's a big party, but this one, because it's Halloween season, is even I'm just even more excited. This one, and usually the one in December, I get real excited about because that's when I do my big predictions for the new year, and we bring in a lot of Christmas gifts, and it's both the Halloween and Christmas ones are really fun.
Yeah, no, it is. And it kind of picking up from the conversation of the last segment, what I found very interesting, and Shar, do you do this as well? It sounds like, yeah, there's bumps in the road. There's stuff that doesn't go how you want it to go. But Maria, you have a good handle on it due to your work in astrology and seeing what's happening.
Yeah. I think like astrology is, like I said earlier, it's your map of your life. And if you follow the map. Life can be a super highway, and we have to make changes. We have to grow. I enjoyed working at Tiger Beat, but I wasn't growing into a new audience. And I enjoyed writing for the teens because I was published by Llewellyn, which is
Yep,
out of Minneapolis, and
it
I
is.
was the teen queen for there. And I had a lot of books that were published by Llewellyn that promoted me as the teen writer. But I really wanted to do more of the adult. And so when that opened up, then I started working for Soap Opera Digest back in the day. Oh, I'm still there. And I started reading also for a lot of majority of the soap opera stars, which was fun because I was a big Days of Our Lives fan. And then I started to get to do a lot of stuff in Hollywood, which opened up a lot of doors for me. And I was on a lot of TV shows out there and read for a lot of the stars. So eclipses can be a good thing. Change is good. We're supposed to keep moving. And sometimes we have to let things go. And I think in order to change, and I think that's what the eclipse are about. Sometimes they take something away to bring in something new and approved. So if you lose somebody, or if you end a job, or if you have a falling out with somebody, the universe sees that there's a hole in your chart, that there's something empty in that area of your life, and it wants to fill it. And the eclipses, again, are like new moons and full moons on speed, like the energy of three of them. So if you can combine that energy and wherever it falls in your chart, there's something going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, with the astrology kind of being a roadmap and stuff, is any of that predetermined by your contract before you enter in the world, or is that going to be something completely separate?
I believe it's your contract because
Okay.
you've chosen a time to be born, a place to be born in, the longitude and the latitude, exact time. And people say, well, I was a C-section. You still chose that. Your soul decided at a specific time to come and be born and take your first breath. That's why there's a lot of premature babies. There's a lot of late babies, and there's babies born on a specific due date, but most people are not born on the due date. It's because your soul wanted to come at a specific time. And then the stars were arranged in the planets in the sky a certain way that dictates the characteristics and the personality that you'll have in order to do the job that you were born to do. So as a Cancer, I'm here to learn about home and family and nurturing and real estate. So I have a lot of those gifts that I'm able to use in my world. If you're a Virgo, you're usually good with healing or health or teaching, which Shara's using some of those gifts. And I can't remember, Greg, what was your sign?
I'm Aquarius.
Okay, so Aquarius is just nutty. No, they're just eccentric. They're quirky. They're people that are here to make the world a better place in some way.
Yeah.
So they are usually the unusual friends in your group, but they really truly want to make a difference. They're the people that can see further out, that are the visionaries, and so they can give us an opportunity to look a little further out. And if we can do that with them, we can learn a lot. But yeah, Aquarians, they want to change the world for the better.
We try one radio show at a time.
Mhm.
I'm just curious, kind of going out, kind of moving around here a little bit. It's, we talk about something like, Suzanne Summers. We talk about contracts. Do you believe when we pass, do we look back at that contract? Do we review the contract? Do we review our lives? Do we kind of like do a life in review? Because I envision ourselves, when it's coming to contract, we're the same people, but we're different people because we're seeing things on a much grander scale than we were when we're living our lives, or at least most of us. And I'm just curious if there's like a review or something afterwards.
Yeah, I wrote a book about 10 months ago. It's my latest book. It's called The Soul's 40-Day Journey. And I talk about when the person takes their last breath and what they do for the first 40 days on their journey until they completely cross over. And one of the things they do is a life review. And you work with your spiritual guidance team, which is made up of ancestors, spirit guides, angels, and you think about what did I fulfill in this lifetime that I just left? Did I fulfill everything that was on my map or on my agenda?
Mhm.
All my promises and obligations, things I wanted to learn, my soul purpose, my karmic lesson, etc. And if they didn't, the soul says, okay, I probably need to come back. But they don't just hurry up and reincarnate. A lot of times what they'll do is they'll spend what humans would say 100 years on the other side. and really think about what they want to do and how they want to do it. So then they choose a new time to be born, a new area, a new persona, a new body. So I think that there's a process people go through. And if they have a lot of karma that they left on the earth plane, it'll show in the chart what they left behind that they're going to have to come back and finish.
Do we when we're in that area, do we look back and say, I want to be challenged more? Do I want to do, like, because it feels like, and Shar and I've talked about this, like the roadblocks and the stuff that comes our way. And there's people who have it so much worse than I do. I don't have it bad, but I just think about different challenges and stuff. And I wonder if that kind of dictates how you're brought back in.
Usually the older souls, the older the soul, the harder and the lessons and the more lessons, because the older souls don't want to have to keep reincarnating. They just are tired. They just want to go home and just stay home and relax. But yeah, I think that some remember, we're not here for the ego. We're here for our soul's work. And our soul wants sometimes to take the hardest challenge on because it offers the opportunity for the most growth. So our soul's purpose is to learn as much as we can, to achieve as much as we can, so we grow closer to God or spirit, whatever your belief system is.
Sure.
So the goal is always to go home. I mean, even when you look at some of these TV shows and movies, like Gone with the Wind, Scarlett had to get back to Terra. The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy had to get back home to Kansas. So there's something in those movies and those shows of going home brings tears to our eyes. Our soul's the same way. We all want to go home. We don't have a conscious memory of it because, we probably all just check out now. We want to get back. But somewhere buried deep in our soul, we know that we're here for whatever purpose. But our astrology chart can help be that guide. And other people can help be that guide. We run across people throughout our lifetimes, soulmates, soul friends, karmic marriages, past life connections, good and bad, that are challenging, I should say, that offer us a lot of growth and offer us experiences for our soul's growth.
Wow. Now, Maria, this book that you have just written, this is available on mariashaw.com.
Yep. It's called The 40-Day Journey. And I'll also have some copies of it available this weekend in Minneapolis.
That's great. And Shar, I haven't really talked to you a whole lot this hour. What's going on with Sharvinity and Metamorphosis Connections that you'd like to share with us? Anything?
There isn't a whole lot going on right now. Metamorphosis on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. We do a live session on Facebook, talking to one of our members. We just had Maria on last week, and we talk about different topics, different things every Thursday. So that's a lot of fun. As far as Sharvinity goes, just working on doing healings and readings at the moment. We just are going to post another Paranormal Dimensions class, me and you, that we have starting up again. The empath class will be coming out again soon, and a gallery will be coming. So there's some things coming. It's all in the works at the moment, but nothing's really posted quite yet.
We're getting there. And the paranormal class, if I may take a moment and talk about that, is last night we finished that's our 10th class that we've done, if I'm not mistaken.
So.
And in 10 and 2 years, that's pretty exciting. And we once again, I mean, you see people, and what was really funny, not funny, but really interesting last night was when we're telling people we're this is the last one, which they knew. I wasn't like a surprise, but we're like, okay, it's the last one. They looked kind of sad, didn't they? They looked like we were ending a little journey, which we're not. But they were really. Did the one ever figure out that the class was over?
Yeah, I emailed back and just said, well, there's no more classes. Don't worry about missing next one. So yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun. It's kind of between me and you with our 30 years of investigating together. We've decided that there's so many things that we learned the hard way and so many things we had to figure out. And we wanted to take everybody and teach them not just about investigating, but about themselves, how to protect and how to ground and how to tap into their intuition and the whole range of everything on what you can come across, and how to do the evidence review, how to do research. I mean, all these things that we struggled when nobody was able to tell us how to do anything, and we teach them all of that. And then we take them on a weekend investigation and they get to go and do everything they learned. And so it's been really fun to watch people grow into their own gifts, to kind of like grow into a whole new person, to find themselves, to find, a new passion, and just a community in general. It's been absolutely amazing. And quite honestly, I think, Greg, we've met some of the greatest people that have now become friends of ours. And that was, a whole bonus to the whole thing.
And if I even may, I think some of the greatest investigators that I will ever meet.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of them they blow us away.
Yeah, very much so. And it's interesting. You said like we have the combined 30 years experience, and it just makes me chuckle, because I'm like 24 years old. So I mean, it's just amazing how those just the math, right? I mean, it's just the math, I guess.
Are you calling me old?
No, I'm saying that I'm 24 years old. You take what you want from that. That's on you if you're gonna take something negative off of my youthful appearance. So, so here we are. We're coming to an end. Once again, folks, we really want to anyone in the Twin Cities area, we definitely want to see you this weekend at Maria Shaw's Halloween Convention and Mariposa Dragonfly Psychic Healing Fair. Once again, that's at the Marriott Minneapolis Airport Hotel this Saturday and Sunday, October 21st and 22nd. It's going to be amazing, let alone Maria's free classes. We, meaning Shar and I, we're going to be doing a presentation at 1 p.m. On 1 p.m. on Saturday. So that's going to be pretty amazing. I'm just excited to see both of you. This is going to be so much fun.
We're excited too.
I just want to add one thing. If you go ahead and go over to mariashaw.com and sign up for her newsletter. She sends out weekly newsletters that have astrology forecasts, information, all kinds of stuff. And it's been a wealth of knowledge, and it's amazing information to get. So Maria, thank you so much for putting all the effort into your newsletters. They're fantastic. I tell everybody to sign up.
All right. Well, everyone, thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow. We're talking about Frankenstein tomorrow. Take care, everyone.
Hi, Matt McNeil here. You're listening to the best progressive radio in Minnesota. It's AM 950.